Welcome to Mudding with BEAGS, episode 24. Today we're going to Canal Street, New Orleans, circa 1910. And the large building is the Maison Blanc department store. Okay. And let's go see what we can find. That's interesting. Got like an arrow pointing down there, like a Phoenician style wave. That's interesting. Okay. What else we got? Got a lion, Tartaria. Some decoration there. Can't see it too good. Smart clothes. Huh. That's interesting. Smart clothes. So they've been putting smart in front of things for much longer than I thought. Look at his faces. Those are cool. I wonder if that's Green Man right there. The vegetation god. Got an ether antenna there. That's pretty cool looking. See, it's all brick. They come in facade over it. The brick is the structure. Oh wow, look at that clock. Wow. That is nice. This guy's gave him a teddy bear. And that right there, sorry, this one right here, this fella, that is the mule that built America. That's Fred. That's Fred. That's the horse that built America, in case you were looking for him. All these buildings, you know, they were built with horse and cart power. So we always like to give props to old Fred here, because he gets around and gets all this stuff built. Man, look at that electrical stuff. That's crazy looking. Man. Something big going on back here. I don't know. That big old thing back there in the back. Wow. Bunch of trolley cars. There's no mule, it looks like. That looks like a mule, not a... Yeah, that looks like a mule. I don't know, it could be a horse. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Mules are cool. Yeah, those cars are just cool. These dudes just hanging out under an umbrella. Oh, that's the law man. That's the law dog right there. I imagine they're just as corrupt then as they were today. Just saying. Wow, look at the detail on that. Jeez. I don't know what's going on there. They got a stupid old awning. Got a ether antenna up there. Tartarian Lion. Got the dripping fruit. I wish I knew what that meant. Wow. That's a serious building right there. Looks like there was something in that box there. Maybe they chipped it off. Went up there and chiseled it right off of there. Got antiquity looking things up here. Running lights down the road. That's cool. N.O. Railway and Light Company. N.O. I guess New Orleans. I don't know. Okay. Wow, there's a lot going on here. See, we added these fire escapes on the front of the buildings because we had a problem with fire, because we did not have the technology that the old world had to cook and light, and so we set our places on fire a lot. In the old world, I don't think they had that problem. Check out that arc light. That's badass. Oh, I thought there was going to be another one. I can't see it. That's Boss Man right there. He's hanging out, Boss Man, and he's making sure he knows what's going on around here. Look how big that curb is. That's wild. You break your neck trying to get up that thing. See, this is how they move stuff around right here. So that all these buildings would have been delivered on that cart right there. You know, that's how they delivered things. Yeah, because that makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And Chicago 1907, Madison and State Streets. That's Boss Man. I think that's Boss Man. And we got pavement light here, all up here, so this whole sidewalk is hollow. Cool detail there. That's a very common way they moved people around, those carts like that right there and that right there. Very common. Now one of those is Fred, but these two horses look so similar, I don't know which one's Fred. So we'll take a vote. Is Fred on the left or is Fred on the right? And we got a Tartarian Lion. Not sure what that represents. Ah, that's weird. I don't know. There's that 3 circle symbol there. This right here is a prism light, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Sure looks like it. So this would have taken the light in and shot the light into the building to give them more light. I believe that's what that is. A little hard to tell, but that's what it looks like to me. Okay. Yeah, I don't want his job. Nope. No. What? Nope. Y'all ain't figured out how to wash a window yet. That ain't how you do it. I don't know. Well, this guy's a little more better off. This guy's, he's alright. This guy, not so much. This guy, he's a daredevil. Look at the detail. Visca Pisces right there. Alright, okay. Oh, no. There's Fred. I'm sorry. I thought he was around here somewhere. These horses are clones. They're clones of Fred. I guess they're going to have cloned horses now so that they can get all this built. That's how they built it. They cloned Fred. I knew I'd get this figured out. It's just a matter of time. Look at the detail up there. I wish I could see that clearer. Got a diamond symbology there. Damn, them some nice curtains. Okay. So this would be a metal facade. They would make these and slap them over. And also, I think these could have had something to do with free energy too. Wow, that thing is wicked. I don't even know what's going on there. That is, I mean, man. Somebody brought the drugs to the party. I ain't even joking. Now that is definitely prism light. No doubt. 100%. definitely prism light. So that would take the light in and shoot it into the room. And then you could open the window more and it would shoot the light further, and you know, as the sun would go down and stuff. Man, that detail just keeps good grief. Damn. Man, that thing is like Dante's Inferno or something. That thing is sick. That right there is a record album cover. That's what that is. From like the 70s. Shit. Diamond symbol. I can't even tell what's going on there. That thing is just too much. Somebody really got in to the cow patty and had them a good time, no doubt. All the ladies got on the uniform. That's Boss Man right there. Getting the Boss Man done. Got pavement light here. All across the front there. Going around here and over here. So that's hollow under there. So we've got pavement light on either side of the street. So definite mud flutter. Wow. What a time, man. Just incredible. Wow. It's hard to imagine. Circa 1903, Flatiron Building, New York, looking south down Broadway at this seminal skyscraper with Fifth Avenue to the right. Okay. Alright. Interesting, but not important. Okay. We got a big old obelisk here, so that would be a free energy device. We're delivering the hooch here. That's very important. There's Fred. He's on the job. Horse to build America. Very important. That's Boss Man. Alrighty. I mean, this is how they delivered stuff right here. You want your building delivered, you call that guy. And he'll show up and he'll deliver your building. They delivered all this shit on that. Now you do the math on that. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you would do it. Doesn't mean it makes sense. Just because they told you so don't make it true. Do your own thinking. Ether antenna, ether antenna, ether antenna, ether antenna, ether antennas, ether antennas, repeat, are all over the place. Repeat, they're all over the place. Ether antennas everywhere. If it's a flagpole, quote unquote, it's an antenna. Flagpoles are stupid. Why would you put a flag on a pole? It just go fly you a flag and then get back to me. Let me know how that works out for you. And I know you see flags all the time, but no. You go fly you a flag and see how long that flag lasts. Tartarian Lion. See how long it lasts on that pole. Now, granted, you got to have some wind. Add that factor in. Ether antenna. That's the Flatiron Building. Another antenna. Big old dome. Portals. Mo antennas. Good grief. What a freaking world, man. The place is just hopping with life. Big old cupola. Antennas. Ether fencing up here. Fleur de lis. I'd say this probably represents a Taurus. Taurus here. Imagine we added these balconies here, at least the fire escapes. Definitely the fire escapes. That's kind of horse shit we build. Got pavement light right here. Right here. Got a coal hole cover there. Got an underground entrance right here going into the ground. You see that iron fence there? That's a sign going into the underground. Look how big that door is compared to that little midget. And by midget, I mean somebody your size. Look at this drop here where this guy's standing on the ground and there's this raised platform, which probably, but I cannot tell, probably has pavement light in it. That was real common. Another little trick of the eye they do. Big old clock. I just can't imagine clocks being cheap back then. I mean, this is how you're going to get your building delivered. You know, in all this mess, you know one thing I don't see? I don't see not a damn thing. Not one damn thing being built. Anybody see anything being built? Nope. Not a chance. 1905 Federal Building, Springfield, Massachusetts, Customs House and Post Office. And let's see what's going on here. That's Boss Man right there. He looked like Boss Man right there. Yep. There's Fred. He's at work delivering. He's already offloaded. Nice detail on the street light. Get your shine, 5 cents. Got your arc light. Beautiful. Windows on the ground. Yeah, because that makes sense. Let's put our windows right at ground level so that people, you know, a drunk can just walk into the window. Or somebody can just walk up and kick it and just step right into your, you know, building. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you do. And it's, you know, it's funny, you know, you got these, you know, pitched roofs and these, you know, fancy roofs and stuff. Look at all those Antiquitech up there, the balls. Those are definitely part of the system. Antiquitech there. You know, this roof here is made of wood. I wonder why you would make it of wood. Why would you not build it out of brick like the rest of the building? Or stone? Or concrete? I wonder why you would use wood to build your roof. Matter of fact, I wonder why you would have to use wood to build your roof. Anybody know the answer to that? Let's see. How would you build a roof out of brick or stone? How would you build that? Think about that. Or that. Or that. That's all wood under there. With, you know, they have different, you know, roofing covers. You know, had cedar shingles or metal roofing, or of course it would have been tin back then. But I mean, you know, Antiquitech up here. Why would you build a roof out of brick? What kind of moron would think that you would use brick or stone or anything other than wood or steel to build a roof? It's just a general question. Dear contractor, have you ever built a brick roof? I'm just wondering. And if you have, can you, you know, send pictures? Because, you know, I'd like to see that. And I'm not talking about an arched, like a tunnel. I'm talking about one like this. I want to see a brick roof or a stone roof built like this with a pitched roof. Okay? I want that. Okay? I want you to build me that. Or that rounded. out of brick. Because Mr. Contractor, I hear you can build a roof out of brick. Or was it that you know, it's stupid to think that anyone would build a roof out of anything but wood? I get confused because, you know, I just have a trouble understanding what kind of moron would think that you would ever use anything other than wood or steel to build your roof. It's just dumbfounding to think. I mean, I don't know. That's really cool. I'm just asking, Mr. Contractor, dear Mr. Contractor. Got Mudflood windows here and here hanging out because you need windows in the basement, you know, because we're going to build this big ass sumbitch, which actually looks short if you think about it, and then we're going to put windows in the basement. Yeah, why not just raise it up? Why not? I don't know. I mean, if a contractor, if I hired a contractor to build me this big ass building, right? And I came to my job, to my new building, and the contractor, that's beautiful work right there. That's quality. That's pain in the ass right there. That really is. I mean, how you gonna make this, you know, circa 1900, or the 1800s probably when this was built? Okay, in the 19th century, how are you gonna build? How are you gonna make that, dear Mr. Contractor? You ain't got no power tools now. I'm telling you, you ain't got no power tools. You're gonna have to do it without air tools. You're gonna have to do it without concrete. Okay, because supposedly you ain't got none of that shit. So you're gonna have to figure it out. And you ain't no mason, okay, dear Mr. Contractor. Mr. Contractor, Mr. Stick Framer, Mr. I can build a stick frame building. Okay, I want you to build me this. Okay, I want you, you know, build me that. But then when I get there and I find out that you built me windows below ground and didn't just raise it up, well, I'm going to sue your ass. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sue your ass because you dumbass. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to file suit. You understand? Because you dumbass. Look at the size of that door. And until you get back to me, I'm just going to go on the next picture. 1908, State Mutual Building, Worcester, Massachusetts. 1897, Renaissance Revival, Confection. Okay, whatever the hell that means. Man, that's badass right there. There's Fred on the job as usual. Got Pavement Light. If you like Pavement Light, that's it right there. If you don't know what Pavement Light is, that means that sucker right there is hollow. Okay, this is a cover up for the Mudflood. There's more Pavement Light in case you need to see more. Okay, they used it all over the place. Look how big them doors is. Big old doors. That's prism glass right there. Whoa, mama. Scrub cartouches. Does it look like that should be, you know, nothing on it? Doesn't that look like it should have something on it? It's because it's been scrubbed. All they did was go up and chisel it and make it smooth. Whatever it was on it, they chiseled it off. It's real simple. That's my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. That's mine. That's beautiful. Dear Mr. Contractor, I'd like a quote on just that door right there. I know you build stick frames and you real smart contractor and all, but Mr. Contractor, I want you to build me that. And I know you're not a stonemason, and, you know, that's okay. I still want you to do the work for me because you can build a stick frame and I believe in you. Anywho. La-di-da, another antenna. And why are you going to go through so much trouble to put a big old pole up on your roof, but you're going to have to brace it like this with this ugly bracing? That dog don't hunt. Man, that's pretty right there. Good grief. I love how it mirrors in the glass. That's just a picture right there. Wow, look at the cornice. Tartarian Lions on there. Oh, man. Phoenician shell. Wow, antenna up there. I'm not sure what's going on right there. That's interesting. Wow, that's just phenomenal. It goes all the way around the building. So cool. So cool. Wow. Yeah, Mr. Contractor, I want you to build me a brick building, but you're going to have to build a wood roof for me, because I just cannot figure out how you would ever build a brick roof. I just can't figure it out. Maybe you're smarter than I am. I don't know. But I don't think that you really believe that. And see the mud flood here? You can see the flow. Does that look like it makes sense? That don't make sense at all. That really don't make sense. That is really weird looking. More pavement light there. And this version right here is a trapdoor pavement light. So you could open that up and drop down stuff into the... They would load in through these. Yes, Mr. Contractor, I'd like you to make me these. Please, if you don't mind. Looks like... That's weird. Okay, look at the detail on this one, and then look at the detail on this one. Okay, very nice on both. And then this one. Does that look right? They took something off there. Yeah, I think they took that off. I believe I can go on the next picture. Circa 1910 railroad station at Manchester, New Hampshire, with a big old smokestack that ain't no smokestack. That ain't no smokestack. And why would I put antennas on the smokestack? I don't know. And why would I do that much detail on a smokestack? What would be the point of that? That's interesting. Is it blown out 1905 with the brick? Okay, that's odd. I don't know. That is really strange. Got a big old train back there. Arched windows. Fred's helping his buddy over there. You know, he's Horse Build America, so he's always on the job, making sure everything's getting done. Guy's cousin's helping him out this time. Just look at the subtlety of that right there. That's just cool. Probably Antiquitech up there. The finials are just, you know, they're real simple, but, you know, that's technology. Clocks. Where are all these clocks? I mean, who can afford all these clocks? Clocks had to be very expensive back then. They're complicated. They're not like today. They're big mechanisms. All right. In 1910, Salem, Massachusetts, Bertram Waters House, Salem Public Library, 370 Essex Street. And we got a wrought iron fence with a fleur-de-lis. Wow, look at that wrought iron. That is hot to trot right there. And they built stick frame houses in the old world. Contrary to popular belief, I mean, they did plenty of that. Yes, they built wood houses back then. Why would you not? I mean, there's so much you can do with wood that you can't do with stone or brick. Stone masonry, you can't. It's so much more versatile and cheap. And it was a lot better quality back then. Look at that line heading up to the roof. That's interesting. Anywho, what I wanted to show was this one right here. I think this is technology here. The way they do this, it reminds me of fractal antennas. But I mean, you look. This is how they hide it. You know, why would you add the dirt to the bottom here? What would be the point of that? For aesthetics? Does that look better because of that? No, it doesn't. That's a cover-up. So they manipulated something here where these windows were. They were probably this big. So that sucker goes down in the ground right there. That was probably much bigger. And this is modified here. You can see how it jets out. So that's something we added right there, that doorway. We added that, no doubt. And we could have just picked this up out of the ground. Anywho, what we got over here? What is this thing? What the hell is that? I don't know. I do not know what that is. That is... What the hell is that thing? It's made out of wood. Or... Oh, wait a minute. You know what that could be? You know what that looks like? Now, this is just my opinion. Now, I don't know. Much my idea. That looks to me, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong. So that looks like a fountain that has a wood cover that has been built here and here over it. See, I bet this is a stone fountain here and here, and I bet it goes up even further. I bet that is a stone fountain. Yeah, big old. Does that look like a cross? Yeah. Whatever. Columbus, Ohio, 1910. Columbus Savings and Trust Company completed in 1905. So by 1905, we were rocking this sucker. Which came first, the building or the pavement light? So the pavement light is going to be an addition to cover up the mudflood. Got your ladder lean. Yep, he's actually going to do some work. He might be putting in awnings. Tartarian Lions, scrubbed cartouche, arc lights. Bossman is right there. He's hanging out, getting the bossman done. He's selling something. More pavement light over here. Prism lights right here. Look at the detail, man. Oh, arched windows. I mean, who's rounding all this glass out? And I wonder how hard. Wow, look at the cornice work. Jeez. That is just sick. Wow, look at that. God. Yes, Mr. Contractor, I'd like you to build me a brick roof, please. Thank you. I'd like a real nice, you know, almost vertical pitch on it, if you don't mind. You know, make sure you get the rounded parts. And you can't build it out of wood. Now, that would be ridiculous. You would build your roof out of wood. I mean, you know, good grief, that's a machine. Tell me that ain't a machine. I tell you, that's a lion. Tartarian Lion. It's everywhere. Why are lions in America? Tell me, when's the last time you were running around in the woods and a lion came up on you and it's like, roar, halt, human. I'm the king of the forest. You know, it don't make no damn sense. God almighty. That's a machine, man. That is a machine. I don't even know what it does. That is out of a movie. Why the hell would you build that? And then put shitty ass writing all over it. This was finished in 1905. By 1905, so you know they started this sucker early. Look at that. I mean, jeez. So, man. That is just, oh my God. Fred's over here, and he's working. Look at the detail on that pole right there. Don't you think that's a little bit overkill? Got your ladder lane. Now see, this is interesting. See, look at the scale. See, this is how you would think they would put the windows up high enough that you can't just walk into the damn things, right? But even that don't make sense. Look at the size of, that's as tall as that man right there, and you know this goes in the ground, so you know that sucker goes in the ground further. Now imagine at least one more floor on that. It ain't hard to imagine. See the crappy awning? Why in the hell are you gonna go through this much detail? That much detail. And then you're gonna add horseshit awnings to it? You can't come up with something better than a horseshit fabric canvas awning? At least you tried here. Oh wait, you didn't. That was already there. What we got going here? Oh, that's just talking about the bank. Look at the freaking man. Look at the windows on that thing. How in the hell would you even place an order for that? Yes, I'd like this window, please. Times, I don't know, 40. I want that window designed like that. And the window guy's going to look at you like, yeah, kiss my ass. Give me $1 billion and you can have those windows. No problem. Not a problem. But you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll call Mr. Contractor. Mr. Contractor knows how to build this. I mean, Mr. Contractor can build anything now. I mean, anything out of sticks. So we'll have to have this building built out of sticks. Because, you know, I don't think Mr. Contractor does brickwork. And if he does, I don't know. I don't know if he can do it without no electricity. No concrete, mixers or, that shit. Look at that. Good grief. You gotta hand it to Mr. Contractor. He knows too much for his own good. Diamond symbology, ether antenna, big old mercury ball. Good grief. Imagine getting the mercury out of that thing. Good grief. Dry goods. What a world. What a world. Dayton, Ohio, 1904. Conover building. 13-story structure, later enlarged. Still stands at 3rd and Main. Later enlarged. Wow. So, we got the Reservoir Dogs here. In case you hadn't seen the movie. Hitching post right here and here. Interesting, we got, and there's another hitching post. Bricks line everywhere. I guess we're going to put down some trolley lines here. Man, look at those blocks. That's the horse shit, man. For all the people looking for the horse shit. See, he ain't got no horse shit around because he's on the job. He's getting all the horse shit up. Making sure everything's up. There's Fred on the job. Fred's always on the job now. Fred's getting, getting all this stuff built, Fred is the horse that built America. There's the Law Dog right there, Johnny Law Dog. His little penis hat. We got prism lights right here and here. Make sure we get the light back in there. And anytime you see these, the same company sold the pavement lights, so it's very probable there's pavement light in the front here. Because I think they sold the same. Jeez, look. Now, how do you cut the glass on that? Ah, man. I'm not talking about today, people. I'm talking about back in the day. I'm talking about pre-electricity. I'm talking about back in, uneducated times. I'm talking about when you ain't got what tools that you got today, supposedly. I'm talking about back in the day, in the 19th century. 19th century. Think about that. We ain't in the 19th century now. This ain't 19th century. We're a little bit further on. Anywho, and alright, everybody vogue. Big old arches. Ooh, look at the size of that thing. What a building. Crappy old awnings. Ladder lean. Brick, brick, brick. Guess they didn't facade this one all the way up. They wanted to show the brick. Beautiful cornice. Oh, we've entered the promised land. Good grief. Pyramid. That looks very green manny right there. Circumpunct right there. Symbol for God. Phoenician wave right here. Or you could interpret it as a swastika. Phoenician shell. Eternal flame maybe? Oh my goodness. That thing is just basically an acid trip. You want to know what an acid trip is? You want to know what it's like without doing the acid? Just look at this picture. And you'll experience the acid trip. That's it, right there. Hope you enjoyed it. See? Drugs. Big old light. Okay, wow. So we're laying down trolley line. I think that they dug the trolley lines up and raised them. Just an opinion. Yep. Yep, Mr. Contractor, I want you to build me another brick roof here. Gonna build that out of brick. You got to brick the whole thing, brick the building, and then I want you to brick my roof because I think that's the way a roof should be made. I can't imagine why anybody would ever build a roof out of wood. And in case you didn't catch on, I'm being a smartass. Look at that Antiquitech up there. Good grief. Will occupy floors building new salts. Okay, alright, wow. Denver, Colorado, 1908. Welcome march at Union Depot looking down 17th Street. The arch with the Hebrew benediction mitzvah soon replacing welcome on the other departure side was torn down in 1931. Huh. That's interesting. Anywho. And we got Boss Man here heading to work. Do his boss manning. Seeing Denver. Okay. Fred's on the job here as usual. Why would you expect less? That's interesting. Look at those little cars right there. Hydraulic engineering. This must be store displays. I would say, look how big that freaking window is. I mean, that don't even hunt right there. God, that's a big damn window in 1908. That was hard to make right there. Okay, what are you doing up there, creepy dude? Alrighty. So they must have people jumping off their roof too, like Apple does today. They had to put nets up too. You'd go crazy too if you had to make all these iPhones for all these Americans. You ain't got a pot to piss in or wind to throw it out of. You eating bowls of rice every day. Poor Chinese people. I hope you enjoy your iPhones. You know, you slaves are building that, right? You could say that's a flat point asterisk right there. 8-point asterisk, flat earth asterisk right there. Let's see what else we got. Wow, that's cool. Antenna. City and County of Denver seal. Eagle, probably a phoenix, representing the phoenix. Maybe a Trinity, maybe? I don't know. That looks like a Taurus field. One of those balls. Cab. Alright. Okay. Cab. And look at the detail there. What is the damn point of that? I mean, it's beautiful. I get it. But I'm taking, when I say what is the point of that, I mean in 1908, when you're driving horses, what's the point of that? What's the point? Tell me the point. There's the point. Elk Hotel, maybe? When you got trolleys and horses running around, why do you need that? Beer. Okay. Denver, Colorado. Ether antennas all over the place. This world was already here. Alright, let's move on. Detroit Rock City, 1900 campus, Martus, and City Hall. And let's see. We got a quote-unquote monument with eagles, otherwise known as phoenix. And we got horseshit added statues from the Civil War, which didn't happen. Yes, there was a Confederate army, and yes, there was a Union army, but they were under orders to destroy some buildings. That's what their job was. Go out there, throw some balls, blow some shit up, make it look good. That was their orders. She was like, she just kick your ass. Anywho, got uniformed ladies. More uniformed ladies. Maybe they're female Mormons. I don't know. Anyways, looks like they're building a fountain. I think that's what that is. Yes, that is a fountain being built. I've seen pictures of that before. Definitely. There's Fred. He's working hard, bringing in a cartload, hauling in another building, because that's what he does. He probably bought in these pavement lights that are right here. He probably did that. That's what he does. And he probably brought in the ones right here too. You know, because that's what Fred does. Wonderland. Okay. And got antennas back there. Moorish architecture there. These turrets on the side. and Antiquitech, and portals. In case you like any of that, more Antiquitech, and arched windows per D. Beautiful. I mean, it's like a midget world. We really are little people in a giant's world. We're little tiny midgets. We added these stairs right here. Because why would you go through the trouble of building such a beautiful arch and then have to put stairs? You can't figure that out ahead of time to make it just flat so you just walk right in? So it's not harder for people to get up and down the stairs? It actually would look better without that? Just a thought. I mean, you know, from an architectural design standpoint, it's stupid. But whatever. We're going to put arch windows on everything because that makes sense. We're going to make the hardest freaking possible windows to build, you know, before 1900. Because that really makes sense to, you know, somebody. Got these light towers. There's another one on the left over there. Antenna. Your healing centers, spires. They really are bringing in the ether there, sucking in that health energy. Trolleys, in case you need those. There's Fred's cousin hanging out. There's Fred's other cousin. He has lots of cousins. And there's some more cousins. And even more cousins. Ladies in uniform. We would have added these stairs. We certainly didn't, you know, build the window below the ground level because, you know, why would you do that? So it could fill up with water and snow. This is Detroit. It does snow in Detroit, right? Y'all do know that, right? We're going to put a cannon that, you know, doesn't fire balls. So people, you know, to support the narrative that there was a Civil War, because, you know, we need to make sure everybody believes that. Another window below ground. Arched windows, keystones. Interesting looking dude. Oh, mama. And there's you some ether fencing. That's an interesting finial. Very interesting. Fleur-de-lis. Lots of Antiquitech on this building. There's your Lady Justice. That bitch is blind. Got more clocks. So high up they're hard to see. Giants must have had better eyes. That's all I can say. Cupola with lights on it. Because that makes sense to light up. Oh, and we're going to raise a flag on it. Isn't that freaking adorable? How much you want to bet that's got mercury in it? Or did. They drained it all out. Wonder what they did with all that mercury. Wonder what they did with it. They had to do something with it. They must have put it in our teeth. There's another one of those light towers. Right there. Big old truss light towers. Those things are so weird. Smokestack. It's not a smokestack. Another ether antenna. Otherwise known in flagpoles. And we've got a, looks like a female here on this side. So a male and a female, one on each side. Big old arched doors. We raised these steps here. That's Boss Man right there. And we're going to make this beautiful building. I mean, absolutely gorgeous building. And we're going to add that horseshit sign to the front of it. Because that is intelligence in art. Just saying. That really, really makes sense. I mean, either they're the most clever advertisers in the world, or that is a cover-up. You decide. Here's that big old tower. It's a light tower Follow this truss up. All the way up here. It's got lights on it, and they have a pulley system. They can raise and lower the arc lights back down to there. I mean, that thing is crazy. I mean, you got these lines going all the way down. They go down to the ground, attached to these poles here. I mean, what a crazy ass design. Look how skinny that building is. That's crazy. Got pavement light right here on the front of the building here. Crappy awnings, we added that. Of course we added the signage. Why would we not? We add signs to everything to make sure that everybody knows that we were here. We, you know, add the crappy lettering on the windows. We're really good at certain things. I mean, you could pretty much just tell our work for, you know, from Old World, because we like to hang on top of the buildings for whatever reason. And that looks like it's Photoshopped there. See that image, how that's, look at that detail right there. See the difference between here and the whiteness right here? That's interesting. That really looks Photoshopped right there. That whole flag really does. And there's that weird line going all the way across the building. And then there's another line. What is that? That might be, it might be like a stain or something on the negative. That's hard to tell. That line right there. I'm not figuring that one out. I don't know. Hard to tell. Interesting though. Lots of antennas going up, catching the ether. I think we've pretty much, another clock. What a world. I don't know, a lot going on there. As always, the pictures will be in the description. This is Detroit also 1912. Elliott Taylor in Wolfenden. It's a store, first floor in dry goods. And I just wanted to look at this because it's just amazing in 1912 to have a store of this quality of design work. It's just, and then how nice it is. And you can also see kind of the internal things going on. It looks like prism glass there. And these right here squares may have opened up to let in air. That's just a, yeah, those are prism glass, definitely. This was a common design, this rectangular box here, the darker color. That was a, yes, so that's definitely prism glass. So there's probably pavement light outside this here. But just, you know, just let's look in at the quality of a store back then. I mean, you know, when you went in stores back then, you weren't allowed to touch anything. You know, you wanted to look at something, they had to hand it to you. You know, you wanted to try on a shirt, well, they would get that for you. They had people, you know, clerks that would help you with that. Look at that right there. Whoa. Demonstration of Tetley's teas. Uh-huh. What are you talking about? Maybe they're talking about that picture. I don't know. That's odd. I mean, look at this. Why all that design work? I mean, what are you... I mean, who the hell's shopping here? The Rockefellers? I mean, what the hell, man? I mean, there's... I don't know. This is something that you would expect, you know, more today. It wouldn't be really that odd, but in 1912, wood floor, plank floor, hardwood floor. That's just, I don't know, impressive as hell. Hotel Brunswick, Boston, 1906. Just another big old building. Got Law Dog with penis cap. Got women in uniform. We would have added these stairs. The stairs just don't look right. They look out of place. Look at the detail on those street lights. Shoot. Oh wow, look at the, oh man. Diamond symbology. Fleur-de-lis. Another ether antenna with a mercury ball, another one up here. Hey, why are you going to put that pole up there and then have to put this bracing up here? That's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Is it that important to run a flag up there? Which obviously you're not doing. Look at the brickwork. Oh man. I mean, oh. Tartarian owl. Pyramid. Tartarian owl over the pyramid. That's interesting. Very interesting. Phoenician, it looks like right here. Representing the Taurus. That's boss man right there, I think. That's criminal element right there. And that possibly goes down into the ground right there. Anytime you see horse shit railing like this and walls and things, it's to cover, make your eye, kind of trick your eye. Windows on ground level. Of course, you have to put bars on them, you know, because, you know, that makes sense. We're going to build the, you know, the windows and doors on the ground level so that everybody can just walk in. There's Fred. Today he's got a top hat man with him. Jeez, look at that. Whoa, baby. I wonder if that represents a star fort. It's interesting. Arc light. As above, so below right there. Interesting symbol. Represents the fleur-de-lis. Got something removed right here. That's interesting. Maybe it's some sort of ladder connect. I don't know. And what the hell's that? Some sort of pulley contraption thing? I mean, maybe they use that to install this shitty, you know, fire escape. I mean, I think fire escapes are us, that we definitely put those in. I mean, you're telling me the person that is the designer of that building couldn't figure out that it would be better to build an internal stairway, okay, than to build a dangerous and aesthetically piss poor, ugly fire escape. I just can't believe that. I can't believe that somebody would be that like that much of an artist to be able to design that and then not be able to design, exits for that doesn't make any sense. Here's another example of stupidity. I mean, you're gonna build this beautiful roof here. You have the skill to do that in this window, but you're gonna put this crappy ass chimney on the side. It just doesn't work. And I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know. It's yeah. So I don't know. Leave a comment and let me know what that is, because I don't know. I mean, homeboy is definitely up to something. I don't have a clue. Let me know. January 1911, South Pittston, Pennsylvania. A view of the Pennsylvania breaker. Breaker boys remove rocks and other debris from coal by hand as it passes beneath them. This is the sad reality of our world, that we allowed children to work at one point. You imagine being a child and having to dig through coal for debris to make just a little bit of money to take home to your family so you could, basically eat a piece of bread. I mean, what kind of society does that? Does the society that does that, do they build like that? Knoxville, Tennessee, 1905. Looking north on Gay Street from near Clinch Avenue. Hope. I hope y'all know how to build a clock with a Phoenician head on it. Just saying. Prism glass, prism glass. Anytime I see prism glass, I want to look down at the ground for the pavement light. Pavement light is proof of mud flood. Proof. In case you didn't catch that, pavement light is proof of mud flood. Wow. Yeah, how you gonna build that, Mr. Contractor? Yep. Let me know. Dear Mr. Contractor, the man's store. If from us, they're right. If they're us from right. Hats, popular prices. Tom Calloway. Okay. More the same vendors. Drugs. I just want to push them drugs. Get your boater hats. Get your mud flood windows. I mean, you can get everything here. No doubt. Arc lights. The wall. Chattanooga. Okay. Scrubbed cartouche. 8-point asterisks. It's everywhere. That's my symbol for flat earth. This is in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have been to Knoxville quite a few times, and I do not remember that. There's your man that cleans up the shit. In case you're looking for the man that cleans up the horse shit. There's another one. He's on the job getting the horse shit up, and there is Fred right there. Right, his legs right there. I promise you he's right there. This is Fred's cousin. But Fred's working. See, Fred's always working. You gotta make sure he's, on the ball, because, he's got to get all this brick out here. You got to deliver all this brick that, is is going to be putting up all these buildings. Of course, the funny thing, we never see them putting up the buildings. Not too often. I mean, every now and then, you know, shines on the dog, sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while. You might find you a construction picture of a brick building being built in the, you know, early 1900. You might find one here and there. You might. Yeah, it's true. Yep. Yep, we still build stuff now. We do it today. We did it then. But when was all this built? Where's my photo of that? Oh, they didn't have no cameras back then. You can't draw a fucking picture? You ain't got a pencil and a paper? You can't make a sketch? Y'all didn't have artists back then? I mean, dude, give me something. Anyways. Just running my mouth. Bank. Ooh. Yeah, tick was heck up there. That is just incredible right there. Oh man. Just amazing cornice. Yeah, wow. What? Who in the hell? It's like I'm gonna outdo the guy across the street with my cornice, and then he looks to the next door and he's like, "No, fuck that. I'm gonna outdo the guy to my left." And then the guy to the right does even better, and he does even more. And it's like they just one up each other, you know. It's like they're like it's keeping up with the Joneses. Little Rock, Arkansas, 1908. Hotel Marion demolished in 1980. So glad. That's good. That's good. I love it when they destroy old historical buildings. That just makes my day. Especially when they're mud flooded and they have pavement lights. And this are the same. This is why they do this. This is why they do this. Okay? They cover the mud flood up with pavement light. Okay? Get it? Does it make sense now? Do you understand why it's the cover up for the mud flood? I can't make it any more simple. Barber. You got a barber shop down in the basement. I always loved that one. Why are you going to put a damn barber shop in the basement? I mean, look, okay, here's some horse shit for you. You go down the stairs. You see that's a handrail right there? There's stairs right here. You can't see them, but they're there. And you got a barber shop pole here and here. They're saying barber shop. They're saying take your ass down here and get you a trim, okay? But here's the rub. Okay, this is a window. Okay? That's the door. But that ain't the door to the building. The door to the building is over here. So they built this horseshit piece of crap thingy bobby thing. So you go in here and then turn right into the horseshit underground barbershop where they can't see to cut your hair. I mean, are you smelling it? That's Freddy's on job. He does a good job getting this place built up. Because Fred is the horse that built America, including the mud flood windows. That's what he does. And here we have some construction. I wonder what they're doing. To me, it looks like they're adding something to the roof. And maybe they're changing the windows. That's interesting. Hard to tell. You know, those windows are very square. A little too square. I don't know. You have to wonder if they went in and took the arches out. I don't know. Hard to say. They changed so much on these things. Represents the Taurus. That looks very Taurusy too. That's a cool car. Pavement light across the front. Some radiators in the window there. Alright. I really can't tell what's going on here. This looks like a lot of debris here, like they're taking something off. I don't know what they're doing there. Oh, they're building the building. That's a construction photo. Yeah, okay, no. Oh, yeah, and these construction photos, a lot of times, they are construction photos of the building. They are found pictures. Okay, if they can build these beautiful buildings, what makes you think they couldn't take a damn picture? Okay, when we found these buildings, we took the pictures too. Okay, they had pictures. They had photography. Okay, don't think that we invented that too miraculously. Okay, these construction photos, people are saying, yeah, we're construction photos. We got plenty of construction photos. Hundreds of construction photos. They're so easy to find. Yes, they're so easy to find. You're right. Yep, because we found them. We didn't take them. We found them. Little Rock, Arkansas, excuse me. And 1910, New Capitol Hotel, Markham Street. And let's see what's going on here. And this curb is so high, they've added a board to get over the mud. These corner doors always trip me out. There's a trapdoor to the underground right there, so that's a vault right there. That's all hollow. Arched window. That could be another trapdoor there. Hard to tell though on that one. The brickwork over here on the right hand side, or excuse me, stone work, stone facade work, should be more clear. That looks photoshopped. Look at that antiquitech balls up there. Look at that portal thing, man, that's badass. Horseshit fire escape. I mean, you're telling me we can design a building like this? That's a 8-point asterisk right there. Pyramid. I mean, look how our phone pole, that phone pole is about as straight as nothing. You know, we can't make a straight phone pole, but we can make this building? I mean, really? Does that make sense? Antiquitech antenna. More of those balls. Bossman is right there, hiding out. Okay. Lowell, Massachusetts, 1908. Merrimack Street looking east. And ladies in uniform. Something going on right there. Hard to tell what it is. Could be a trapdoor, which would mean it's a vault. There's Fred, he's on the job. Horse that Built America. in case you care. Got Antiquitech up here, arched windows. Antiquitech up there. Photographer. Arc light. Those windows are cool. Oh wow, look at the horse crap fire escape. I mean that I don't even know how they got away with building that fleur-de-lis. Antiquitech ball. Maybe a capacitor. They've added this chimney to the side. Or it could be some sort of part of the air system thing of the Antiquitech air conditioning system, so to speak. And what we got over here? Look how high that curb is. Mudflood window right there, covered by iron grate. A lot of boater hats going on here. Must have been real popular. Clock. Clocks are expensive. Well, that's odd. Okay. Portal. Antiquitech antenna going up with mercury ball up there. Looks like it's photoshopped or cut off. I don't know. Got Antiquitech up here, more over here, more over here. Basically, the roof stuff's Antiquitech. I mean, pretty much. I mean, that ain't for hanging a flag, people. I really don't think so. Another clock. Why do you need two clocks within two clocks? Why do you need two clocks within one block? I don't know. That just seems strange. I don't know. Malden, Massachusetts, 1906. Pleasant Street from Malden Square. Just look around, see what we can see. That's Fred right there. Ain't he cute? He built America, you know. He's got his cousin Wilbur with him today. Now Wilbur's famous horse too. He built Russia. Just saying. Ladies in uniform. Got your ad for a wood stove or coal stove. Credit clothing. Or clothes. Clother or something like that. No money down. That's very interesting. Credit clothing. I've seen that several times. That makes you wonder if the clothing, you know, what if these people, the inheritors, what if it was like, okay, you want clothes, take a line of credit out and we'll give you clothes, and you have to work off your clothes. You got a clothes credit, and some people could get more credit than others, or some people wanted more credit than others. Dancing Academy, okay, because in 1906 there's so many people wanting to dance. Yeah, okay, whatever. In Massachusetts with trolleys. Venetian shell. Fancy brickwork up there. Arched windows. Antiquitech up there. I think that's Boss Man right there. Anytime I see a barber pole, I start looking down. For some reason they like to put the barber poles. Whoa, hello. That's a pyramid. Yeah, that's a cross, people. Yeah. Does that look like a cross? Looks like an 8-point asterisk. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. That fountain's cool too. Just forgot to point that out. Look at that light. Crazy. Alrighty. Moving on. For March 1911, Magnolia, Mississippi, interior of Magnolia Cotton Mill spinning room. See little ones scattered through the mill, all work. So we got child labor. Got a shadow person there. Another shadow boy. That's creepy. You just imagine a society that works children. I mean, that dude's just straight up. That's evil right there. See the evil. That's Mr. Evil. I don't know. It's just sad, you know. A sad reality. I mean, these kids should be experiencing life, man, not working in a mill. And I think this is very interesting how they ran machines with these pulley systems. See this? They were tied to these belts, and the belts would run the machines, but then they were hooked to, it's hard to see here, but they were hooked up and they would be run by big motors. I think that these are possibly old world, this is my opinion, that these are old world machines that were free energy, that the motors that ran these machines were free energy. I think we found the textile mills. Just my thinking. Montgomery County, Maryland, circa 1928, Glen Echo Park. And just my eyes just immediately drawn to the Antiquitech up here. I mean, that thing, just imagine that this thing is sucking in ether and this thing's spinning around, and in some way, shape, or form, the spinning of the mechanism of the ride draws in more ether or something. I mean, this, you know, the hidden box here, you know, what's in that box? All we see is a pole going up. You know, we got some kind of electrical business up here. You know, but what if I don't know, just interesting. You know, a lot of the rides I've noticed they spin. So here's a spinning ride right here. They turn in circles of some way, shape, or form, which I find very interesting. I think it has something to do with energy. Look at all the power lines. Good grief. Papa Duck. Okay, diamond symbology. Fountain of Youth. Barbecue. Now I'm just going to stay it for the record. North Carolina barbecue ends with Eastern North Carolina barbecue. Barbecue starts and ends with Eastern North Carolina barbecue. Now I'm going to tell you that Memphis, Tennessee has some damn good barbecue, but it ain't North Carolina Eastern barbecue. Just saying. Just saying. That's my opinion. I'm sure others have a different opinion. They're wrong, because Eastern North Carolina barbecue is the best barbecue in the world. Just saying. So here's another, you got a roller coaster and it goes around and around in a circle. And I just wonder if that movement, that circular movement, moves the ether. Got a bandstand cupola thing here. Okay, it's just interesting. I don't know. New York, 1900, Glender Building. This improbably slender tower at the corner of Nassau and Wall Street, one of the tallest buildings in the city when it was completed in 1897, met the wrecking ball in 1910. Oh, thank goodness. I love it when they wreck these things. That's so awesome. It's like, you see these buildings, they're so freaking ugly, and then they wreck them, and it's like you just want to just jump up and down and shout with just pride and happiness that you would get rid of the horse crap of our world. It makes so much sense. I mean, you see beautiful things like this over here. I mean, but damn, this piece of shit? Really? I mean, you know, I'm so glad by 1910. They completed this in 1897, and it took them 13 years to wreck this thing? I mean, gosh, why would it take you 13 years to decide that this thing is such a piece of shit that it's got to go? I mean, why does it take so long? I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's obviously horseshit. Obviously, it's got Tartarian Lions all over it, arched windows, Taurus fields. I mean, you know, I just can't imagine that you would ever want all this Antiquitech on a building. I mean, it's so gaudy and ugly and just hideous, and jeez Louise, 13 years of looking at this piece of crap. I mean, our city can just not take this. This is New York. We can do better than this. I mean, good grief, what is wrong with us? 13 fucking years we let that thing stand with pavement light? I mean, good grief. I mean, gosh, the thing has, what, 20 feet of pavement light? No, this has got to go. It's got Mudflood windows. I mean, come on. I mean, good grief. We got Fred parked outside with his cousin Wilbur hanging out, waiting to do some more deliveries. They want to tear down this building. They want to get another building built up. I just don't understand it. 13 years. I can't believe it would take us 13 years to get around to understanding that we can only build shit like this. But I mean, seriously. I mean, in this one here, this one's got to go too. This one obviously has got to go. I mean, this is just absolute trash. Portals. I mean, come on. Who would build crap like this in New York City? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I want it gone. And it takes you 13 years. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, this thing right here. I mean, more Tartarian Lions up here. Portals. Antiquitech all over. It's got to go. It's got to go. We got to tear this down too. I don't know what building that is. We need to get the owner of that building and that one too. That's got to go. Matter of fact, let's just start at one end of the block and go to the other end and knock it all down and start over. Because we need some brutalism up in here. Because brutalism is the way to go. It's the only way to fly when you want to build a building that's, you know, the best thing that you can possibly build is a brutalist building. I mean, we got Mudflood windows down here. I mean, you know, can you imagine if people come to our city, New York City, and see arched windows? How upset and pissed off they're going to be that we allow these things to be constructed and then actually sit there and have to look at them for 13 years? Somebody needs to call the mayor. I mean, absolutely. What in the hell is? I mean, this is quality right here. You see the quality. You see the chimneys there they built on the side. That is our quality work. That is the kind of stuff we want to see in New York City. New York City. Come on now. We're gonna cut off here and Photoshop that out because we just can't look at that. I mean, good grief, we got big old cupolas up here. I mean, we need to have a serious talk about getting all this stuff demolished. I mean, Mr. Contractor, I want you to build me this roof out of brick. I don't want you to build it out of wood because that would just be ridiculous. Why would you ever build that out of anything but brick? I just don't understand. But if you insist, give me a quote on building me a wood roof on a brick building. I mean, come on now. I mean, you know, that makes a lot of sense, but I guess if you have to, it's the only way you could possibly build it. You know, you can use steel too if you want. You know, use steel, use wood, but you know, I really wanted brick. I wanted a brick roof that would leak and be extremely difficult to ever get to look like this, but you know, whatever. You do it your way. I'm happy that this building is gone. I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm ecstatic. New York City, 1905, Broad Street, Curb Brokers, and Stock Exchange. So this is where the elitists steal all our money. There's Freddy's on the job. And we got right there, Mudflood, drop down. Very interesting. That looks Phoenician, Phoenician Way, Phoenician Faces. Whoa, mama. Scrubbed cartouche. Whoa, baby. Man, oh man, oh man. Looks like a lion there, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Very lion-y looking. That looks like a lion too. Oh man, good grief. I mean, seriously? I mean, we need to get the demo crews down here because this is looking absolutely like trash. This is just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe they built this big old beautiful building here and then they put these steps on the front. I mean, that needs to go. That needs to go immediately. Call Giuliani. Because we'll get something done with Giuliani. I mean, he got rid of a couple buildings already. And what are these dudes doing on the roof? Next to a photoshopped Antiquitech antenna. Just saying. Oh, man. What a freaking world. I mean, it's just too much. Too much. There's these little midget people. Doesn't this make you feel small? I mean, seriously. Absolutely small. But I bet you it made their, you know, you wonder why people's egos are big in New York City with their Tartarian lions. Eagle and a lion. So a phoenix and a lion. Man. Pyramid. Whoa. Jeez, I don't even know where to look. There's so much to look at. Oh, man. I mean, we really got to get down here with the wrecking ball, man, because this is another Tartarian Lion over here. Oh, that's the same one. Excuse me. They all look alike, you know. Tartarian Lions. Look at them lights, Antiquitech lights. I mean, what the hell, man? 1905. That's insanity. New York, 1905 again. West 23rd Street. And these are probably vents here. They could be pavement light, but either way, this is hollow. This whole area. That's coal hole covers there. There's Freddy's on the job being a taxi cab today. You got a clock. Got prism lights here. Wow, look at the detail there. Let's look back down here. I mean, people just always deck to the nines. I mean, just it's hard to understand. How are you? Who is doing the laundry for these people? I don't know. I just don't know. Oh my gosh, a black man. You know, they were here first, don't you? Yep. Yeah, third rail system here. They probably got underground right there with that wrought iron. Oh man. Flags, yeah. Okay. What a world. October 1907, Marble Collegiate Church, 5th Avenue, New York. Got Mudflood window, grate to the underground right there. Arched windows, Antiquitech antennas. Interesting design there. Wow, that's cool right there how that's done. Wow. Big old doors. There's Fred. And there's the man, the pooper scooper man. In case you wonder where the pooper scooper man is. He's always there. That's boss man right there. I think these cast iron fencings had something to do with electricity, with the free energy system. I think we added that pole right there. I think that was on the roof of something, and we put it there to look like a flagpole. There's that symbol again. I don't know what that is. Diamond symbology. Clocks are expensive, and this thing just keeps going. Wow. Yeah, okay, so on a church we're going to put a rooster, because that makes sense. Does that make sense? I wonder if that's coal. It could be a coal delivery right there. Ivy growing up already. I mean, what is the point of putting these fancy windows in these sides right here? I mean, what is the point? Okay, there's no point. Not in this time frame. Not in the difficulty that it takes to do this. This is not an apartment building like you have today that's made out of, you know, twigs and berries put together with nail guns. Okay, a monkey could build that. Monkeys didn't build this. "1938, young farmer, Jefferson County, Kansas." And I just wanted to show that for all the radiation theory people. I thought that was really interesting. So we might have a radiation burner there. Phoenix City, Alabama. 1954, Russell County Building and Pinball Machines. What I found interesting about this photograph was okay, we got Mudflood windows here. Okay. Alright. Now, they've modified this. Okay. But, what's interesting is the entrance is down here. Okay, you walk over here, you go up the stairs. Okay, you're on a new level, right? And then you go over here and you see the Mudflood window. But back up. You follow the line. Okay, the ground level. And so you can see the mud was higher here. They've dug this out. Okay, see that? They dug it out. And they've gone up here, and then they've gone up to the second floor and put in a door. So this is just kind of some of the ways they've modified buildings. See street levels up here? And so you got the windows are below ground level. Ground level's here, okay? This is the modern ground level, but then this goes down in the ground. Why would you build like that? You really have to ask yourself that question. Philadelphia, 1910, Girard Trust Building, Broad and Chestnut Streets, flanked by the Morris and West End Trust Towers. Okay. And Fred's on the job right here. Got him a top hat driver today. He must be doing high quality work today. That's Ghost Fred. Fred is so fast, like sometimes he's moving so fast you can't hardly see him. I mean, he built America, you know. Eternal flame symbology. See, we had to modify these doors because they were. This is the door. Okay, see right here? The 30-foot door, that's the door. Okay, this is the giant's place, right? And the giant used a giant door. And then we had to modify it with this horse shit. Okay? Tickle lights. Access to the underground right here. Okay? That's probably a drop down right there with that wrought iron. Whoa. Very, very nice. Oh, man. Wow. Mr. Contractor, I'd like you to build me this out of sticks, please. Oh, man. Good gracious. Oh, man, I don't even know what's going on there. That's incredible. Oh. Mercury ball tops. Oh, man. Good gracious. What in the world? Who the hell built this before 1910? I need to hire that contractor. And he needs to build me something. Look at that. That's interesting. It's like sailboats. I don't know. Pyramid. Wow, that's really crazy. A chimney that's not a chimney. It's the Parthenon. Okay. Oh, you got pavement light right here. Coal hole cover here. That's pavement light. There's the horse shit bucket in case you're looking for the guy to get the horse shit. I was wondering if that was pavement light. I'm not sure if it is, but this is definitely pavement light, and this is pavement light. So that means all of this right here, all of that's probably pavement light right there. Yep, that's pavement light there too. Sometimes it takes a minute to see it. That's all vaulted, which means it's hollow. That's cover up for Mudflood. There's a trapdoor right there. Oh, baby. This building is just too plain for me. I got to have, dripping details. Oh, I'm so glad I got to the top of the building so I could see the horseshit sign. And the Antiquitech antenna. And let's look over here, see what we got. Oh, Tartarian Lion, Phoenician seashells. It's all there. It is all there. Looks like Mudflood windows right there. That's probably trapdoors right there. Oh, it's a badass car. Check that thing out. Whoa, dude. Ghost Man. Oh, that's Ghost Pooper Scooper. That looks like a trapdoor right there and there. And then you got these manholes right here. I bet you nickel there's a shitload of underground stuff here. There's more pavement light. Jeez. Man, there's some serious underground shit going on right here. That's Boss Man right there. Oh, man. Philadelphia City Hall, 1910, Market Street West from 12th. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's see. Man. Oh, we definitely built that scaffolding. No doubt. We can build some scaffolding now because that's made out of wood. We know how to do that. Monkey can do that. That's cool. Very, very neat stuff. I used to think all this stuff was just old crap. I didn't even pay it no mind. This world, I just didn't care for it all. Look at that. Oh, good grief. The scale of that. Why would you build that right there and then block it in? That's odd. Tick lights. Portals. Freaking crazy. Portals. God. I don't even know what to say. This thing's this next level. Phoenician head. Antiquitech antenna. Whoa. Oh, jeez. It just keeps going. My goodness. Whoa, mama. Circumpunct right there. Symbol for the creator or God. Big ass clock. I can't see what that is. That's interesting. Hard to tell. I don't know. Eagle, otherwise known as a phoenix. It is an eagle, okay, but it represents the phoenix. The eagle's not important. It's just a bird. Portals. I forget how high that thing is. That thing, if I remember correctly, is like 30, 35 feet tall. I can't remember exactly. It's big. It's really big. That is just phenomenal. Antiquitech all over the place. I don't know what that thing is. Weird. Vents to the underground right there. Look at the faces there. Wow. Hey. That looks like a face, but that looks like a lion. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Wow. You gotta wonder if those are filled with mercury. Okay. What I'd like to do here is I'd like to show you this book that I found. I'm looking into the idea that Tartaria was America. I'm not saying that Tartaria was America, but what I am saying is that Tartarians were in America, and I believe that that will be proved out. And I think the evidence is floating to the surface now. It can be seen on maps that the Tartars were here. It's starting to be found in books. It can be seen in the symbology. But this is a book that I ran across, and I'm going to leave the PDF to the book in the description, and you can look over it for yourself. What you could do is put in the word Tartar, Tartar, into the find box of the PDF file, and you can search for the word Tartar, and it'll bring up Tartaria and Tartars and Tartary, and then you can also look up the word Phoenician. But this book is full of a lot of details, and I'm just going to read and show you some of the things that kind of rose to the top of what I was finding. But anyways, this little something different. Okay, it's called Discoveries in the West, being an exhibition of the evidence that an ancient population of partially civilized nations differing entirely from those of the present Indians peopled America many centuries before its discovery by Columbus and inquiries into their origin, with a copious description of their many stupendous works, now in ruins, with conjectures concerning what may have become of them. This is by Josiah Priest, and this was in 1834. So copyright 1834, which I find very interesting, as it respects some of the ancient nations who may have found their way hither. We perceive a strong probability that not only Asiatic nations very soon after the flood, but that also all along the different eras of time, different races of men, as Polynesians, Malays, Australians, Phoenicians, Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, Israelites, Tartars, Scandinavians, Danes, Norwegians, Welsh, and Scotch have colonized different parts of the continent. And the continent they're talking about is North America. And in the table of contents, voyages and shipping of the Mongol Tartars and their settlements of the western coast of America. Antiquities of the West. There are no parts of kingdoms or countries of the old world but have celebrated in poetry and sober history the mighty relics and antiquities of ancient empires as Rome, Babylon, Greece, Egypt, Hindustan, Tartary, Africa, China, Persia, Europe, Russia, and many of the islands of the sea. It yet remains for America to awake her story from its oblivious sleep and tell the tale of her antiquities, the traits of nations, coeval perhaps with the eldest works of man this side of the flood and even before. It is possible, whoever the authors of these great works were, or however long they may have lived on the continent, that they may have in the same way, by intestine feuds and wars, weakened themselves so that when the Tartars, Scythians, and descendants of the 10 lost tribes came across the Straits of Bering, that they fell an easy prey to those fierce and savage northern hordes. It is supposed that the inhabitants who found their way first to this country after its division in the days of plague, and were here long before the modern Indians, came not by way of the Bering Strait from Kamchatka, I can't pronounce that, somewhere in Asia, but directly from China across the Pacific to the western coast of America, by means of islands which abounded anciently in that ocean between Chinese Tartary, China, and South America, even more than at present, which are, however, not very numerous, and also by the means of boats, of which all mankind have always had a knowledge. In this way, without any difficulty more than is common, they could have found their way to this, as mankind to have every part of the earth. Course of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. There is a strong resemblance between the northern and independent Tartar and the tribes of the North American Indians, but not of the South American. Besides this reason, there are others for believing our aborigines of North America were descended from the ancient Scythians and came to this country from the eastern part of Asia. The Tartars, now so called, but were anciently the Scythians and probably became amalgamated with them. Several tribes of the present Southern Indians, as they are now called, have traditions that they came from the east or through the Atlantic Ocean. Rafiks, some dude. It is important to distinguish the American nations of eastern origin from those of the northern. The latter, he says, were invaders from Tartary, and were as different in their manners as were Romans and Vandals, Who will believe for a moment that the common Indians of the West, who were derived in part from the wandering hordes of the northern Tartar race of Asia, were the authors of these works, bearing the marks of so much labor and scientific calculation in their construction? It cannot be. And from all we can make out by observing the growth of timber with that which is decayed as found on the deserted works of the West, we are inclined to believe that about the same period of time when Europe was overrun by the northern hordes, that the region now called the United States, where the ancient inhabitants had fixed their abode, was also overrun by northern hordes from toward Bering Strait, who had, in ages before, got across from Asia, the Tartars or Scythians, and had multiplied, and as they multiplied, progressed farther and farther southerly, till they discovered an inhabited country populous and rich, upon whom they fell with all the fury of Attila and his Huns, till after many a long and dreadful war, they were reduced in numbers and driven from their country far to the south, when the rich fields, vast cities, innumerable towns, with ally their works, were reduced to the ancient dominion of nature, as it was when the first overgrown immediately after the flood, except their vast pyramids, fortifications, and tumuli, these being of the same nature and durability of the hills and mountains, have stood the shock of war and time. The monuments of powerful nations disappeared. If the ancestors of our North American Indians were from the northern parts of Tartary, those who worshipped this idol came from a country lying farther to the south, where the population was more dense, and where the arts had made greater progress, while the Tartar of the north was a hunter and a savage. The Hindu and the southern Tartar were well acquainted with most useful arts, who at the later period of that of the first people who settled this country came, bringing along with them the arts, the idols, and the religious rites of Hindustan, China, and the Crimea. From this we may safely infer that America, having received its first European colonies from Iceland, who had not only a knowledge of architecture in a degree, but of navigation also, with that of science, and in very regions where the villas, cities, and cultivated fields, roads, canals, and railways, with all the glory of the present age, exist along the Atlantic coast, also flourished the works of a former population. The Danes, Swedes, Norwegians, civilized nations centuries before Columbus was born, but who have passed away by means of wars with the more ancient nations of America, or with the common enemy of both, the Tartar hordes from Asia, now called the American Indians, leaving forever the labor of ages, which here and there are discovered the relics of their architectural knowledge. There remains not a doubt that the Mongol Tartars found their way from China to the west of America in shipping. The voyage is not so great as to render it impossible, as that the French vessel in the year 1721 sailed from China and arrived at a place called Valais de Nandros on the coast in 50 days. The Phoenician letters were known among the Mongol nations. If therefore they found their way to the South America, we at once account for the Phoenician characters found in caverns and cut in rocks of that country. In AD 1275, the Tartars, under their general called Moku, undertook the invasion of the Japan Empire, which lies along adjacent to China, between the western coast of North America and China, with a fleet of 4,000 sail, having on board 240,000 men. But the expedition proved unsuccessful, as it was destroyed by a storm, driven and scattered about the Pacific Ocean. Kempfer's History of Japan, Rankin. From this we discover the perfect ability of the Western nations, that is, west of America, to explore the ocean, as suited in their inclinations in the earliest ages. For we are not to suppose the Tartars
For we are not to suppose the Tartars had just then, in 1275, come to a knowledge of navigation, but rather the greatness of this fleet is evidence that the art had arrived to its highest state of perfection. In another letter to the Society of a later date, he requests the preservation of certain papers as worthy of being recorded in its archives, showing the progress of his mind and coming to the great conclusion that the three races, Malays, Tartars, and Scandinavians, contributed to the makeup of the great American population, who were the authors of the various works of antiquities found on the continent. Let's see. The greater part of the present American natives are of the Tartar stock, the descendants of the hardy warriors who destroyed the weaker Malays that preceded them. The surviving race in these terrible conflicts between the different nations of the ancient native residents of North America is evidently that of the Tartars. My observations led me several years ago to the conclusion that the two great continents, Asia and America, were peopled by similar races of men, and that America as well as Asia had its Tartars in the north and its Malays in the south. America has had her Scythians, her Alans, her Huns, but there has been no historian to record their formidable migrations and their barbarous achievements. How little of past events do we know? Having achieved this conquest, the Tartars and their descendants had probably a much harder task to perform. This was to subdue the more furious and warlike European colonists, who had entrenched and fortified themselves in the country after the arrival of the Tartars, or Indians as they are now called, in the particular parts they had settled themselves in along the region of the Atlantic. We learn from the historian Clairvaux that the Eries, an indigenous nation of Malay race, who formerly inhabited the land south of Lake Erie, where the western district of Pennsylvania and the state of Ohio now are, and Lewis Evans, a former resident of the city of New York, has shown us in his map of the middle colonies that the hunting grounds of the Iroquois extended over that very region. The Iroquois were of the Tartar stock, and they converted the country of the exterminated Eries or Malays into a range for the wild beasts of the West and the region for their own hunters. George de Horn, a learned Dutchman who has written on the subject of the first peopling of America, maintains that the first founders of the colonies of this country were Scythians, who were much more ancient than the Tartars, but were derived from the Scythians, and the term Tartar is but of recent date when compared with the far more ancient appellation of Scythian, and the descendants of Shem, the great progenitor of the Jews. This is Jersey Shore, circa 1906, a Sandman, Atlantic City. My thinking right now is that there were, at the very minimum, two separate groups that peopled America prior to Columbus setting foot on American soil. Not North American, but, discovering quote-unquote America. And number one group is the Tartarians, and I believe that they came across either the Bering Strait, or they just sailed across and landed on the west coast. And so they then mixed with other groups that were already here, and they became what we know as the Red Man, or the Indians, American Indians. I also believe that there was another group that came from Africa. Abu Bakr II, with his fleet of 2,000 ships, I believe they left Africa and they came and they landed in South America. And I believe that they quite possibly are what we know as the Olmecs today. And that they then migrated north and they were also here in America, and they were mainly on the East Coast. But I believe that when the first people that came and started poking around over here in America, that they found the two races, at least. You had the red man Indians, the Aborigines, and you had the black Aborigines. And I believe what they did was they, long story short, declared war on the red man, and they enslaved the black man. And why they did that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they chose to enslave one and war with the other. But I mean, we know that they just totally decimated the Indian population, and they, you know, the slavery issue. I don't think they were slaves. I believe they were indentured servants. I believe they were prisoners of war. They basically said, look, you can work you're a war, you know, you're a prisoner of war. You can work, and you can earn your freedom. And that was the original slaves. And I believe that they then worked their way to freedom, which would make them freed men instead of free men. Freed men. So anyways, my point here is that there is evidence that the Tartarians were in America. There is evidence that the Africans were in America prior to Columbus. So as Paul Cook says, you know, you can stick that in your pipe and smoke it, which I thought was hilarious. Anyways, I just thought this image was interesting. You got your Tartarian Lion just hanging out here. Looks like he's either dead or tired from beating the hell out of this horse and this dude. And I can't read this. This says work, but I can't read the rest of it. Maybe somebody else can read that and let me know what it says. But I just thought this picture was interesting. And I'm going to leave all the pictures, and the book will be in the description. You can do your own research. And I hope you enjoyed. This is BEAGS out.
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.